Hello everybody and welcome to a new video. Today we're just going to be doing a little bit of a world tour of StormyLand Survival Season 9, and basically there's been some changes as far as like server address and stuff that happened last week. I just got done moving, so all that's taken care of. Server is back up and running. Got that back up and running about 2 weeks ago, so that's all good. I did have to change the server address twice. One was because the US.2 address was made private and free DNS, so I had to switch it to a different one. Then I changed it to moo.com. Well, apparently there's some subdomains on that are used for malicious intent, so there's quite a few internet service providers that are blocking it, so then I had to change it again. But this time I created my own domain, so there shouldn't be any issues with ISPs blocking it, but only time will tell. So before we get into the server, we're just going to basically, I'll show you guys how to join if you are new. Basically go up to the friends tab here and you'll see it right down here, StormyLand S. Basically you're just gonna add this guy as a friend on Xbox Live, and basically you'll be able to join the server this way. If you have troubles with that method, I mean, this is actually the preferred method. Sometimes the Xbox servers go down, you know, like Microsoft servers might go down, this stuff might not show up. If that's the case, you can also add a server if your platform supports that. I know that on console you cannot add servers, but I'm playing on Windows, so if you click here, let's see here, I think server address is here. Yep. So this is StormyLand Survival right here. The new server address is survival.stormyland.org. The port's the same. Same thing with StormyLand 101 Anarchy, which is right here. This says stormyland.org, but in reality it would be anarchy.stormyland.org. Stormyland.org will still connect you to the server, believe it or not. It just forces an IPv4 connection. If you use, say, anarchy.stormyland.org, this basically just enables an IPv6 connection if your internet supports IPv6. So, long story short, you can connect to the server using, you can connect to StormyLand Survival using survival.stormyland.org 19135, or you can just use stormyland.org. It's going to connect you to the same exact server. Just if you use the longer domain, you'll be able to connect through IPv6, which might give you a latency advantage. So yeah, just connect with this server address. If you have issues, you can try just using the domain itself. It should still work. So we're gonna hop into the server right now. I'm gonna join through the friend. Basically, if you join through the friend, it'll try to join with an IPv6 connection if you have it. If not, it'll join through IPv4. If any of you guys watching have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, just don't worry. Just join through the friend, and it should work. Yep, wonderful world of IT. It's like the people in IT explain a bunch of IT-related stuff, and then the people that are like, you know, just want to play on the server, just like, as long as it works, right? Well, if you join through the friend, it should work. If you join through the server address, it should work. There's quite a bit going on in the back end, but yeah. So this here is spawn. Actually, spawn is up here. So when you first spawn into the server, you'll actually spawn up here. So we'll head up here right now. This is where you'll spawn in. Basically, it shows you the server rules and stuff, basically like the server information. So I think it's a vanilla server, Xbox Live achievements are enabled. There's some tweaks the server has, such as like creepers not exploding, because it gets annoying when a creeper blows up someone else's build and then somebody blames somebody for griefing, and you know, it just makes a big mess. That's pretty much like the only modification this server has. I mean, we did have some other modifications like you know, basically just like vanilla stuff. Like we had TNT disabled for a while because of griefing, but then I realized that if griefers use TNT, I mean, it's going to be more obvious to ban them if you don't have access to TNT, they're just going to do less obvious stuff. You know, griefers are still going to grief whether TNT is enabled or not. It's basically what I'm saying. Here's server rules. You can pause the video, read through these. There'll be a link to both the server's website and a link to the Google form. Yeah, that's another thing. The server now has an official website, StormyLand.org. So you can visit StormyLand.org, and it'll show you information about the server as well. So, perfect. Server restarts. Basically just tells you when the server is restarting. The server specs. This thing's outdated. I actually upgraded the hardware. We were actually on a 6-core CPU, clocked at like 4.2 gigahertz or something like that. And we got 16 gigabytes of RAM, so a pretty significant upgrade. The hard drive space the same. I just upgraded from an HDD to an SSD, so yeah, it's pretty good there. So yeah, this big dome right here is actually the shopping district. There's not too much activity, definitely not as much as there was last season. I think the main reason for that's the spawn. We spawned in a snow biome this season. Which, I mean, thought it was a good idea at the time, but I just think that might be part of the reason why the server isn't doing as good this season, and to be honest with you, I'm not sure how much longer this season's gonna last. You know, I'll probably give it like 2-3 months tops. Probably put a Discord poll saying like a couple weeks, maybe a month, when we should start a new season. Unless the server just boosts in popularity in the next couple weeks or month or so, we'll stay on this season longer, but everything seems to be going pretty good as far as like the actual server itself is running. So yeah, so this here is the shopping district. We're gonna go back in here. I just wanted to sleep through the night. Got a concrete shop here. I haven't actually bought much from here, but looks like they're fully in stock. Pretty cool shop. Then we got this end. Lords of Storm shulker shop. Shulker boxes. I was terraforming in here, and so some of the shops are actually sunken in the ground one block. I'm still trying to figure that out. Best way to fix that. Not exactly sure what that would be, but yeah. We got a boat shop. This is cool. And then we got this beacon shop. I've used this shop a couple times, actually. And this is probably the shop I use the most right here. This is Dr. Dan's rocket shop. I use this quite a bit. We also have... I'm not sure what this is gonna be. This was buried in snow, like before I even built the dome. So, is this food or us? Food store. Alright, pretty simple, but I like it. And we've got the sand shop. I believe this is the sand shop. Looks like they might be out of stock, or they're almost out of stock. They got some sand in stock. I'm not sure if that music's getting annoying. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. I mean, I got it down pretty low. I'm gonna turn it down to like, I'm gonna just turn it all the way down. Alright. When I'm playing the game, it's fine to have the music on like that, but when I'm recording videos, it's, you know, I can see how that can get a little distracting. What else we got here? Calzian's Pumpkin and Lantern Shop. A nice place here. And then, last but not least, I use this shop. I actually used this shop quite a bit last week. Basically, I lost a pickaxe, so I went through and bought some of these books in here and created myself a new pickaxe. So, this shop really comes in handy, especially when you die and lose all your stuff. You got a bunch of like different books, enchanted books and stuff, so you can get back up to your... basically what level you were at gear-wise before you died, probably within an hour. So, and we got Parker Bowles, la 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 lava, chicken, Steve's lava chicken, yeah, it's tasty as heck, shop. That's pretty cool. And The carrot and wheat store. Alright, got some carrots, and we got some wheat. And what do we got here? Boop, 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 boop. Unnamed fish shop. Oh, we got some fish. Looks like they might be just about out of stock, but here, and I think we got one more shop here. Doesn't look like there's anything in there yet. There is another shop down here. There's a banner shop. I completely missed this one. Gotta make sure I get all of the shops on camera. This is a pretty cool shop. So, yeah, I gotta make sure I get all the shops on camera, otherwise I'll have one person on the server being like, hey, you didn't show your shop on your video. Yeah, sorry. I've done that before. Alright, if we head over this way, we got the tree farm, or basically the tree farm that was at the beginning of the season. We covered this all up in glass because the snow was snowing over top all the trees and it was piling up really high and it looked like crap. So another reason why we built this big dome was just to stop the snow from falling on everything around spawn. And then down here, this is still work in progress, but I'm planning on building like some barracks down here for new players. Basically like players that don't have like a house built yet and stuff like that. Over here we got the jail, so if you do something stupid, like not like super stupid, but if you do something like a little bit stupid, you'll just get put in jail instead of getting banned. Like say like you only get put in jail for like 3 days or something like that. So I mean, that's what this is. It's basically just a jail. But yeah, if you guys want to have like a, you guys want to look at the punishment guide. There's a punishment guide in the Discord server. It's got exactly shows you exactly like what you could go to jail for and what you could get banned for. I mean, basically, if you're just playing on the server and you're just, as long as you're respectful, you respect other people's builds, you respect, you know, other people's, you know, privacy, all that kind of stuff, you have nothing to worry about. You won't end up in jail or anything. I'm mainly talking about the people that steal people's stuff or grief people's bases or, you know, dox people, you know, that kind of stuff. This here is actually one of the houses that I started building at the beginning of the season. I finished the outside of it for the most part, but the inside I have not really done much with other than put some interior decoration in here. Or not really decoration, just interior rooms. So, you know, we got some random rooms in here. What do we got in here? Yeah, just chests filled with random stuff. Head upstairs. Yeah, there's actually quite a few floors of this place. Got a room here. Room there. Room here. Yeah, we got quite a bit here. I was going to put some chests in here as well. Just never got around to it. I haven't been as active on the server as I should have because I'm still getting, you know, I'm fully moved now, but, you know, last few weeks I've just been very busy, you know, not just with moving, but, you know, spring stuff. So, you know, like I had to help my grandpa put his pier in. I have to help my neighbor put their pier in. Then I got to help my uncle put his pier in. Yeah, we all live on lakes. Like basically, you know, yeah, we live on a lake, and I gotta help everybody put their piers in because, you know, I'm like the youngest person around to help do it. So I mean, I don't mind doing it, but it can be some hard work sometimes. Yeah, so this here is Testy Siren's apartment building. Not fully complete yet, but I mean, it's getting there. I mean, he's been somewhat active. He hasn't really been on in like the last week, but he's been pretty active, but mainly for like the highways and stuff. Like he's like a road builder. He actually does a pretty good job at building roads. So, yep, there's that. So next, I want to take you guys over here. This is actually the first build on the season. We call it the Stone House, or the Homeless Shelter. This is basically like where everybody lived at the beginning of the season. Now it's mainly just me. I use this base more than I use the house over there. We got, like enchantment tables and chests for storage. Here we got a super smelter, a real primitive one, just shulker boxes on top of hoppers. It gets the job done. It's not like super advanced, but it gets the job done. And I'm not sure exactly what this is here. I think that's just, it goes to someone's base. I'm not sure who. We got chests filled with random stuff, If we head up this way, you see here we got a little fireplace room. Like the beginning of the season, you'd be sitting down in here watching the snowfall. It's mainly why I built this room, because it looks so cool sitting by the fire watching snowfall. And if we head up here to this area here, we got some chests up here. Not much in these. And then over here, we got the farm. Basically, we got a little greenhouse. We got some wheat, some potatoes, carrots, some pumpkins, melons, netherwort, sheep, stuff like that. Just basic stuff, to support the player base that live around spawn. At least we'll probably have to build a bigger one eventually, especially if the server boosts in popularity, which it may or may not. I'm not sure. The server's been pretty dead the last month. Yeah. So this here's one of the highways that Testy Siren built, and this goes right past his gas station, Flying J. Now this is actually a really cool build. It's a pretty advanced redstone thing, but it doubles as like a rocket shop, which is really cool. So basically, you can go in here, you put the diamonds in here. It says diamonds only. You put one diamond in and it should spit out 64 rockets. I don't have any diamonds on me now. If I did, I'd test this out. They're all my ender chest. But yeah, this is a really cool build. Even like the signs with the numbers on it. Like the detail in this thing is like absolutely insane. So this is awesome. And then of course, I had the idea of kitty corner to it. I was gonna build a marathon station, but sell ground transportation stuff, so horses and speed potions, swiftness, I think it was or swift sneak, I think it is, stuff like that, depth strider boots, stuff like that, and I just sell that at the marathon station, so it wouldn't be complete competition, but it would be just an alternative thing. The thing is, his shop will probably do better than mine because everybody used the Elytras, but I think it would just be a really cool, add a little bit of touch to the spawn area. So I'm gonna sleep real quick, sleep through the night. And let's see here. And this build here, this is I think this is TBK Studios base here. I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to be, but I mean, it's still under construction, so we'll see how that turns out. I mean, right now it looks pretty good. I'm not exactly sure what it's supposed to be yet, so yep. And if we head here, this is Kurt's house. This is actually a pretty nice base in here. This is his starter base. He's got a bigger base, which is down here. Right. Like I said, I'm only going to show off the bases, people's bases that are around spawn. I'm not going to go way out and look at people's bases that are far from spawn because I'm not sure if people want their, their coordinates leaked or whatever. I mean, nobody's going to grief, but I mean, there's some people out there that just, they want to keep their base hidden, which is fair, Especially, let's say, you don't play for a few months and somebody griefs your base and you just don't notice till 3 months later. There's not really much I can do at that point. I can restore the chunks from an archive that the server archives once a week, but chances are you might lose progress. Well, maybe not if you don't join that often, but, still. It can be annoying. And what do we got here? This is L. Kelvin's base. I've been in here quite a bit. This is actually a pretty cool base. Alright. I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to be. There's no like signs or anything here. I mean, whatever it is, it's gonna be big. And it's been like this for a couple weeks, so we'll see what this is. And we got over there, we've got what's his name? Storm Rotogrip. His base is there. Then we got Yax, that's over there. So we'll head over this way first, just because it's within render distance of spawn. And you may notice that the render distance on the server is significantly higher than it was before. And again, that's because of the hardware upgrade. So yeah, we got some sheep, some, chicken, cows, stuff like that. We got some wheat over here. That's pretty cool. We got something down here. And we got villagers down there. Looks like he built a village. That's pretty cool. If we head over this way, let's see here. This is actually the inside of his base. I think we can go up this way. I've been in here maybe a couple times. I mean, yeah, it's a nice base. Don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, this is pretty good. Fly zone. Be careful where you stand. Yeah, you don't want to incoming people with elytras. And this is the top floor. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Alright. So we'll head over to Yax next. I don't think there's too much over here yet, but we'll see. And we got a tower there. And we got a statue of a villager. And, nether portal. Quite a few farms. It's coming along pretty good. There hasn't really been much activity here in the last month or so. Yeah, we had to move the villager blocks. Villagers are done, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I felt that. Build a villager breeder too close to someone's base. I've done that before. It's a pain. But yeah. Let's see here. Doesn't look like there's much here yet. Alright. So that is most of the spawn area. If we head back this way, there's another build by Storm Rotogrip. We got this ice racetrack. This is pretty cool here. And we got like little stands right here you can watch through, and it's a fully functional racetrack too. So, yep, this is pretty cool. So, I mean, the creative builds on this server are awesome. Alright, so we're going to head back to Shopping District here. I need to buy some more rockets from Dr. Dan. Well, actually, I'm going to go over to Flying J and buy them. I'm going to give him some business. I helped him build it, so I'll give him some business. But I'm going to use his ender chest, though. I'm going to get two. Alright. And I'll show you how this Flying J thing works. If he's in stock. I'm not sure if he's in stock or not. We'll see. According to this, it's supposed to be like, hey, if the redstone lamp is lit, that means he's... Yeah, it says if it's on, the pump is empty, so, I mean, it's off right now. Alright, so I'll put the diamond in here, and we'll see what happens. Oh, there's rockets coming out. Oh, this is so cool. They're flowing in. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Like I said, one thing I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video is, obviously I told you that I moved. Basically, I moved in with my grandparents. The only issue is that we kind of live out in the middle of nowhere. So the internet options out here are, are limited. So I settled for the SpaceX Starlink, and that seems to have been working pretty good. I mean, I am running the server off of it. I mean, not too many people have been having issues with lag, you know, other than the time when I was using the dedicated playit.gg IP in Europe. That was causing some latency issues, but I fixed that. Basically, I got a proxy now running in, basically in North America, in the Chicago area. So the latency is a lot better now if you're connecting through IPv4. So, yeah, if you know anything about Starlink and running servers, that, you know, Starlink uses CGNAT, which is a nightmare if you're trying to run servers. So you got to use like proxies, and you got to use proxies, and you got to use like, you know, tail scale and all that. But, you know, I got it set up working pretty good. But yeah, if you're connecting with, if your internet supports IPv6, you're connecting directly to the server, so you'll have a little bit of a latency advantage with IPv6, like I mentioned before. But the only real issues that I ran into were thunderstorms. You know, you get a little bit of a thunderstorm overhead, the server is, it's pretty laggy. But that's only when there's storms. I mean, normal rain doesn't affect it. Snow doesn't really affect it. It's only if you have like a 40,000 foot tall cumulonimbus cloud directly overhead, which luckily that doesn't happen very often. You know, you're lucky if you get one of those once a week. And usually they hit it, you know, like they'll hit during inactive hours anyways. You know, sometimes you'll get one at like 7 or 8 p.m. You know, it might knock the server offline for a few minutes. But there really isn't much I can do about that. You know, not yet anyways. And you know, until like, let's say like they run fiber optic down this road, or if they run cable down the road, which I'm not sure if they're gonna do or not anytime soon, but we'll see. But it doesn't seem like people been having been having any issues, so should be fine. And, you know, believe it or not, my ISP I had before was Spectrum, and their upload speeds are not that great. The upload speed with Starlink's a heck of a lot better. So, I mean, there might actually be a little bit of a, basically there might be a little bit of a advantage there, other than, you know, the slight increase in latency, which really isn't that much. But yeah. So here we are in the Nether hub right now. There really isn't much going on in here. I'm not sure where this goes. I've just been working on this, making these tunnels look a little bit better. And we are actually down closer to the Nether floor this season. But there is one thing I want to go down this way. Is we're gonna head down here to the Guardian farm. Because this is actually a build that I built. I let the entire community use it. Basically, you know, allows you to get XP stupidly fast. So if you were to die and lose all your gear, basically, yeah, you can go to spawn, buy books from the bookshop, and you can get XP from here. And you can get your stuff back pretty quickly, which is just awesome. And I can show you exactly how this thing works. So if we go out, I'm going to sleep first. Yeah, that's another modification I was thinking about adding to this server, is a longer day-night cycle, because right now it's 20 minutes. You know, if I thought about, you know, like making it like a half an hour or 40 minutes or something like that, you know, 20 minutes of day, 20 minutes of night, might be better. There's some people that oppose that idea. But then you gotta keep in mind, though, you can always sleep through the night. Like, longer nights might be a pain, but you can always sleep through the night. There's a pigman here. Yep. You can always sleep through the night, even if there's other players online. The server's got one player sleep, so you don't have to worry about that. The only issues that might arise is if you're out in the middle of nowhere, don't have a bed, and you just gotta AFK until it's daytime, and if it takes 20 minutes, I mean, that might be a bit annoying. I'll throw that on the piston there. Yep. But this Guardian farm is the exact same design as last season. I just made 4 chambers instead of 2. I don't think this really affects it at all, really. I just did it because I thought it would. But yeah. And we'll see how fast this thing actually works. So if I stand on this pressure plate now, should start seeing the XP flow in. But yeah, what I did before is I actually did have to pick up the tridents and throw them back in, because sometimes you won't get the XP then. Basically, the player that lasts through the trident has to be online and in the overworld for the XP to drop. Well, right now I picked up all the tridents and threw them in, so I was the last one that threw it, so obviously I'm getting XP. But, yeah, you can see right here, my elytras are already fully repaired. There's my pickaxe fully repaired. I mean, this stuff isn't that isn't that damaged anyways, but yeah. You see I'm picking up XP pretty quickly. So, any of you guys that are a member of the server or you want to join, if you join the server, feel free to use this thing. Next season I'll probably build another one, so yep. And we got a villager trading hall here. This is not quite finished yet. I still need to add the lecterns where the librarians are. There's just this really annoying bug, and it annoys the heck out of me. I got the villager breeder in here, right? Like I said, most of the villagers here actually work, but I think there's like 1 or 2 villagers in here, librarians specifically, where I click on them and nothing happens, like their GUI does not pop up, and I'm not exactly sure what causes that. I mean, most of them, you know, I filtered out most of them and just threw them down here. I don't know, you know, I don't really have anything down here anyways, it's just a mine. I don't know where they went, they probably wandered down. Oh, there's one up here, okay. Let's see here. They must have fixed that bug. That's a nitwit there. They must have fixed it. This one. This one does not work. I'm clicking on my mouse, nothing's happening. So they must not have fixed it. Either that or their texture just didn't update when I destroyed their workstation. Alright. If we head up here, this just takes us outside. This is on a mushroom island biome. Doesn't look like one now, but I basically just planted a bunch of spruce trees on it because I was using it for sticks to trade with Fletchers. Reminds me, I could see much further out. What the heck is that? Looks like a shipwreck. It literally looks like the Flying Dutchman's ship. Yep, that's exactly what this is. It's a shipwreck in the sky. Never seen... I mean, I've seen them generate like this before, but I thought they fixed this. It's kind of funny that they could just generate at, you know, 150 blocks up. Wow. So yeah, that's basically, you know, this area here, which I think we're actually pretty close to showing off the whole server at this point. Other than, you know, like other people's bases that are far away that I'm not gonna show off on video because there's some players that don't want their bases shown, which is fair. But yeah, I'll take you guys to the end. That's just down the tunnel. I mean, it's basically the way we came, so... Ooh. A little bit of a cough for some reason. Alright. To the end. Alright, so this is the end portal. It's basically the stronghold here. I'm not sure where this goes. This is stairs for the stronghold. Okay, I thought somebody built those. But yeah, this is just the stronghold here. You head down in here. And we are in the end. I helped Calzian fight the Ender Dragon last week. It looks like they're doing something in here. Oh, they're a villager breeder. Bunch of villagers everywhere in here. Apparently, they must be doing something in here. I don't know. Well, let's see. Oh, wow. Someone built a village out here. And a ruined portal. Okay, now this is cool. And it looks like there's an Enderman farm out here too. Yeah. Now, this is my first time out here. Yeah, somebody literally built a village out here. Ooh. Good thing I had an elytra on. That's a bug. Near-death experience there. Imagine if I didn't have an elytra on, I would have been dead. Alright. And we are back to the Guardian farm. Alright. Alright guys, so that basically covers it for basically everything on the server so far. And if we actually get more players on here, I'll be doing a second world tour towards the end of the season, showing, you know, everything off again. So yeah, so if any of you guys are interested in joining the server, like I said, I'm going to have a link to the website and a link to the Google form in the description, so you guys can, you know, join the server. It is a whitelisted server, so you do need to be accepted, which, I mean, we pretty much accept everybody, you know, unless, like, your Discord account's brand new, you know, basically just, if you're an alt of somebody that was banned, you might get denied, or, you know, if you create a Discord account just for the sole purpose of joining the server, you might get denied just because, just because, you know, like, we ban people and they come back with alternate accounts and they get back in grief. You know how that goes. So if you guys are interested in joining the server, there's a Google form in the description. You guys fill it out. There's a Discord link as well. The Discord link's also in the form and it's on the website, so you can join. You can join that way too. Joining the Discord isn't required, but I mean, it is nice to do just so you can keep up with stuff. You know, if you can't get Discord for some reason, you know, we'll get back to you with through email whether or not you've been accepted. So, yep. And keep in mind the Google form application, it does require you to have a Google account. I might disable that. I mean, I feel like that might be part of the reason why the server's so dead and we haven't been getting any new players really. But for now, if it's an issue, just let me know. You could join Discord and be like, hey, I can't fill out the form, I don't have a Google account, and you could just, you know, message me and I can add you to the server. I mean, you can email me too. I'll have the email in the description as well. So, well, thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far into the video, thank you for watching the whole thing all the way through. And yeah, so again, I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out.